Hi everyone, my name's Liz and I'm a Research Engagement Manager in Southampton. So we're all here today because we want to support Cancer Research UK, especially at this extremely difficult time for fundraising, and to help fund our researchers as they continue their vital life-saving work. But how does the money that you help to raise through Relay for Life, along with our shops and donations and all the other events that go on across the year, actually get spent? What does your money buy? Well, we're going to play a game of Your Money, Our Research, and let's see if you can guess how much things in our laboratories actually cost. So I'm going to show you 7 slides with some lab equipment or even a person that we fund in the labs on them, and give you some choices for how much they might cost, and you need to guess what you think the correct answer is. Here we go with the first slide. So first up is a box of microscope slides. So do you think a box of these microscope slides costs A, £6, B, £9, C, £15, or D, £22? Write your comments and your answers in the comment section now. So these are the small glass slides that our researchers can put a sample on, such as a very small drop of blood or even an extremely thin slice taken from a tumour sample. And using these slides, our researchers can look down the microscope at the sample and see the cells contained within it, and they can get loads of information from a tissue sample, such as whether the cells are looking normal, or are they misshapen or discoloured, or showing signs of cancer. So how much do you think a box of these slides costs? Well, I can tell you that the time is up and the answer is £6. So A, well done to everybody who said that. Just remember that around 90% of the donations that come into Cancer Research UK are for less than £10. And as we always say, every penny, every pound raised really does help our life-saving research, because as you can see here, as little as £6 buys an essential bit of lab equipment that can help our scientists with the studying of the working of our cells. Okay, so let's move on to our second item then. And up next, we have a multi-channel pipette. So does one of these pipettes cost £60, £175, £420, or £650? Write your answers in the comments section. Now, this is a really handy tool. This lets our scientists really accurately measure very precise and often very small quantities of liquids and solutions. You can see in the picture that the pipette being used has 8 different channels, but they can have up to 12 channels. And this means that a scientist can measure and transfer exactly the same quantity of liquid 12 times. So this really speeds up the pace of our life-saving research, saving time and money. Okay, so let's see what the answer is. And the answer is D, £650. Imagine how much more you could achieve if you had 8 or even 12 hands. A multi-channel pipette helps our scientists to be more precise whilst accelerating the rate at which they can carry out their life-saving research. So well done to all of you, those of you who got that right. And let's see how many can get the next one. So on to our next slide. And next up, we have funding for a PhD student for 1 month. A PhD student like Marina at Imperial College. How much do you think this costs? Is it A, £2,500, B, £3,000, C, £3,500, or D, £4,000 a month? Now, PhD students are really important to our research. Each lab group usually has at least 1 PhD student working within it, and they carry out vital experiments and conduct their own research projects as well. And our funding doesn't just help to pay for their wages, it also includes all the equipment and the resources that they need to carry out their research. And the answer is £3,000. So well done to everybody who said that. So our PhD students complete a 4-year training program to equip them with all the skills that they'll need to carry out making research breakthroughs of the future. And we fund around 400 PhD students in labs all across the UK. Right, so time for item number 4. Next up, how much do you think a set of 1,000 plastic test tubes costs? A, £25, B, £35, C, £45, or D, £55? Now, these are really the understated weaponry of our cancer fighting research. These tubes have so many uses in a lab, from storing samples to being used in all sorts of experiments. So they're a real staple of laboratory work. But how much do you think they cost? Okay, let's find out what the correct answer is. And the answer is B, £35. So well done, everybody who said that. So plastic test tubes like these are really a basic staple of lab equipment. The grease that keeps the cogs of research turning, you could say. They're so vital to our researchers and to beating cancer. Okay, so here we go with the next one. So up next, how much does it cost to do a DNA sequencing experiment? So this is an experiment that allows our researchers to reveal a part of the genetic code of a cancer cell. So how much would this incredible experiment cost? A, 370, B, 480, C, 550, or D, £720? What do you reckon? So these experiments are really, really important to tell our scientists more about what's happening inside cancer cells. So for example, it could tell them where a gene, so part of the instruction manual that's contained in our cell's DNA, maybe has a mistake in it that could be giving the cell the wrong information and leading to cancer developing. So what do you think? How much do you think these cost? Okay, well, let's see how much it actually costs. And the answer is £550. Well done, everybody who said C. And that really is incredible if you think about it. The cost of DNA sequencing has fallen dramatically in the last 10 years. So you may remember when the first complete DNA sequencing of the human genome was first accomplished in 2003. It was huge international scientific collaboration, took 13 years to complete, and cost around $2.7 billion. Well, now our scientists can sequence a full genome for a few £1,000s and can sequence a specific part of the DNA in a cancer cell just a few hours and for £550. So that's really, really incredible. Okay, let's move on to number 6, our penultimate slide. And it's another staple of the lab this time, a lab coat. So how much do you think a lab coat costs? £15? £20, £25, or £30. And these lab coats protect our scientists as they carry out their life-saving research. But how much does one cost to buy? Write your answers in the comments section. And our researchers wear these lab coats every day to carry out their experiments. So they're really, really important to keep them safe. And as you can see from our 2 lab technicians modelling them, they're rather stylish as well. But what do you reckon that they cost? Okay, we've got lots of answers, but who's right? The answer is £15, just £15 for a lab coat. Well done to everybody who said A. So we'll move on to our final slide. And how much do you think it costs to fund the Francis Crick Institute for just 1 week? Is it A, £400,000, B, £3 million, C, £13 million, or D, £150 million? This is for just 1 week, remember. Now, the Francis Crick Institute houses 1,500 people, including scientists from the fields of structural biology, genetics, mathematics, and computing. So working collaboratively, all these researchers are helping to unravel the mysteries behind cancer and other diseases, improving the lives of patients around the world. So how much do you think it costs to fund the Institute for a week? Okay, well, let's find out what the answer is. And the answer is B, £3 million a week. I think most of you did say that, so well done, those of you who got it right. And there are 60 research groups at the Francis Crick Institute, and we're one of several major funders who are supporting the research that's happening there. And the other figures that we showed you were how much it costs to fund the Institute for 1 day, so that's £400,000, a month, £13 million, and 1 year, £150 million. So well done to everybody who got some answers right. Well done if you got them all right, anybody. And thank you so much for playing along. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about how your amazing fundraising is supporting our researchers.